Okay. These are the results of experiment 7 testing for urease production. It tests for the enzyme urease, which enables an organism to hydrolyze urea by removing two amine groups with the production of two molecules of ammonia. Ammonia is alkaline, and in its presence, the pH indicator phenol red turns a bright fuchsia pink. You can see the bright fuchsia pink in the Proteus vulgaris. If we had a Klebsiella, it would also turn bright fuchsia pink. And our negative in this test is the Escherichia coli. It is yellow, indicating it did not produce urease. Putting those back, we are moving along to experiment 39 results. This was the identification of streptococci, and our organisms are Enterococcus faecalis, Streptococcus pyogenes, and Streptococcus agalactiae. For hemolysis, because we're on this one. So on hemolysis, you see that there is beta hemolysis on the Streptococcus pyogenes, and the other two have gamma hemolysis, indicating no hemolysis. There's a little bit of a shadow on Streptococcus agalactiae, but please ignore it. There's also some sneeze marks. Don't sneeze on your petri dish. The other result from this is that you can see that Streptococcus pyogenes is susceptible to bacitration, because you see the red circle around it where the bacteria did not hemolysize. But Streptococcus agalactiae and Enterococcus faecalis are resistant to bacitration. And the next one is bile esculin hydrolysis. Enterococcus faecalis is the only positive because it has the black pigment. Streptococcus pyogenes and agalactiae are both negative for bile esculin hydrolysis. On the 6.5% NaCl, we have negative growth, so it remains purple for Streptococcus pyogenes and Streptococcus agalactiae, and we have growth for Enterococcus faecalis because it turned yellow. So the test you need to focus on if you think it's Enterococcus faecalis is you care about bile esculin and NaCl, and if you're differentiating between pyogenes and agalactiae, then you care about the hemolysis and the bacitration. So Enterococcus faecalis is more different than the other two. Experiment 40 is the identification of staphylococci, and our organisms are Staph aureus, Staph epidermidis, and Staph saprophyticus. The first one is mannitol salt. As you see on Staph aureus and saprophyticus, there is growth and acid production. On Staph epidermidis, there is growth but no acid production. You can see a little bit more. You can kind of see some pinkish indicating some alkaline, but it's a pink plate, so meh. On colony pigmentation, the book says that Staph aureus is yellow and the other two are white. But yeah, that's just what the book says. It's cool. For coagulase, the only one that's positive is Staph aureus, and you can see that in these little jars because there's little clumpies in the little tube there. So Staph aureus is positive for coagulase, the other two are negative. Here is the DNase, and you can barely see it, but there's a little bit of pink around the edges of Staph aureus. Let's hold it up to the light. You can still barely see it, but there is a little bit of pink there. The other two, there is no pink, indicating that Staph aureus is the only one that is DNase positive. Epidermidis and saprophyticus are both negative. For hemolysis on our staphs, we have beta hemolysis on Staph aureus and gamma hemolysis, meaning no hemolysis, on the other two. They're kind of slow at doing their eating of the blood, so the halo is not super visible. right at the light. Oh yeah, way visible at the light. Bloop. And for novobiosin sensitivity, aureus and epidermidis are susceptible. Blink, blink, you see two nice halos, and saprophyticus is resistant. You see no halo. You can see the halos a little bit better at the light. And for the agglutination protein, that's a funny little test. Staph aureus is positive because of those little clumpies, and the other two, epidermidis and saprophyticus, are negative because there's no little clumpies. So here's Staph aureus and the other two. So the key test that you're going to focus on, Staph aureus is more different than the other two. So if you're looking, if your coagulase positive, DNA positive, positive hemolysis, then you've got Staph aureus. If you're differentiating between epidermidis and saprophyticus, then you care about the fermentation, whether or not there's acid, and you care about novobiosin sensitivity. So Staph aureus is easier to ID than picking between epidermidis and saprophyticus. The end.